It's a whole thing. It's my
All right.
girlfriend's fault.
Aw, that's sweet.
Aw.
Okay, I think we are not terrible. Okay, this will work. So you guys can hear us and everyone else, correct? Just going to check with the chat real quick to make sure they can hear all of us.
I'm still named.
They said
here.
better.
Better.
Captain Mel said better.
Is
I
that?
think
Does
you're
it need to be
accurately
louder?
named.
What are we doing? Tell me. Does it need to be louder, guys? People?
Captain Mel, tell us about our volume.
Yeah, anyone. Or anyone. Any of you.
Or
Just
anyone.
Am I there?
chime on in.
Sound off in the comments.
Also, you know that Ishin's name is still name here, right?
Oh,
Wrong.
shit.
Are we letting that joke linger?
No, hang on. Let me fix that real quick. What is your character's name again?
Quaximum. Quaximum.
Okay, so
Lumber stumper.
Q-U-A-X-I-M-U-M.
Lumber stumper.
Okay, let's fix that real quick. Overlay
The
magic.
33rd. And if you can fit it, of the Pilwickan lumber
No,
stumpers.
nope. Nope.
okay, well,
I can't.
It'll keep coming up.
coward.
That's fine. Yes. All right. Oops, that's wrong. Hang on. Sorry. Wait. There we go. How's that? Everyone correct? Right?
Well,
Wait,
Now
now it just
white
says name
boxes
here.
with name here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a joke. Okay.
It should.
Oh, got it.
You should all have names. Oh, gotcha. Yes, you should all have names now. All right. That's it. We're good. We have begun the game. So, you all are. How do you all know each other? Let's start with that. Or did you all know each other before this game began, or before this adventure began?
I think it's 2 and 2.
Well, and I think we all knew of each other because we're kind of in the same business, which is the business of union racketeering, right?
Yes.
And related activities.
And related activities.
Exactly.
Racketeering mostly.
Well, I know
Excellent.
that Quax and I went to college together. I was in law school while he was finishing the program for notary. And that's how we know each other.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
We have a
Humble brag.
business. Reader,
Yeah.
Lumber Stumper, and Associates.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we're looking for a
And
few associates.
We don't have any of those yet.
Right.
We've
No.
been told many times that the bugbears are not our associates and will not become our associates.
That's true.
And why is
We
that?
are hired union labor in accordance with union contract.
Right. Understood. Did we decide
From
if you guys
the-
had pamphlets?
We definitely hand out literature.
Okay. I'm going to give you an extra magic item where it will produce pamphlets on demand. So you will have like a little pouch where every time you reach into this satchel, there will be a pamphlet to hand
I
out.
refuse. I think the magic item should be a printer that is crank operated. I
Yes.
demand the crank.
Okay.
This is an important part of the item.
I agree. That's fair.
As long as I don't have to carry it.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. That's what you got
Works for
then.
me.
Okay.
So Sally and I are the Razor Twins,
right.
noted union toughs for the Goblin Unionized Workers Union, GUWU, which is the last time I'll say that on this stream. And I am Dirk, the younger twin by about 20 years, who is known for my skill with a blade.
And I'm Shiv. And I'm a mid-50s bugbear. Been in the game a while. And I'm known for the art that I make, by which I mean the artful way that I kill people I've been told to murder.
What would be an
Assassination is my
artful
art.
way you've killed someone? Like, give me an example.
Clean lines. Really good, strong angles, interesting light and shadow work.
Pioneering
You can
the
always see,
minimalist
like,
movement.
Yeah.
Strong strokes.
It's chiaroscuro,
Yeah.
really.
Early in my career, I was more of a maximalist. Splatter was great and so on. But these days, I'm trying to refine my art a bit.
I love it. Perfect.
Whereas I prefer more like a Rothko, just blood everywhere in even coats.
Outstanding. All right, so what is the bar, or where are you guys? Is it a bar you're all meeting up on? Is it a dock? Is it a wharf? Is it
Like
an
a
alley?
VFW, a fantasy VFW hall.
Fantastic. Okay, excellent. You guys are all. Who's a veteran of a war? Are you all a veteran of a war?
I'm nominally a veteran of a war because hobgoblins.
Right.
We,
All right, excellent.
I've been in these before. That
Okay.
being said, I was also in charge of reading things. I didn't actually fight.
Right. Right. Well, paper needs to be pushed. Orders need to go
Yeah.
through. That that happens.
That's
So
just how it goes.
where would you? What kind of bar are you guys in? What's the name of it, and what is the general atmosphere?
So where do we want to start this? Is this
Good
back
start.
in?
Yeah.
We're based in Baldur's Gate, right?
Why not? Yeah, absolutely. It's a long walk to this place, but you could, like, maybe if you were at Baldur's Gate to begin with, you would like plan to go to another city, get the equipment there, because why
Right. We should do it
traipse
in.
mules for 1,000 miles, right?
We should do it in Sycomer. Is that how it's pronounced?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sycomer? Okay. And from Sycomer, what's the quickest route to Silvery Moon?
Okay. I hate you. No. No one answer him. That was done because he listens to my show, and he's mean. And you're not going, and it doesn't exist, and it's been burned. And there's no magic items for sale. You ass.
That was for you, Mel.
So you would. So let's say that you initially met in Baldur's Gate. So you'd meet in a bar in Baldur's Gate.
All right.
Any place in particular?
The Wandering. Give me a noun.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. The Wandering Rabbit. That's where you are. You're the Wandering Rabbit, as rabbits tend to do.
Works for me.
There is in the back, and there's a chef who is obsessed with rabbit, specializes in rabbit. So there's rabbit stew and rabbit poppers and whatever, rabbit ears. I don't know how many ways you can make a rabbit actually. And you are led to your usual kind of like table in the back that's in a corner, so it's like a rounded booth, and there's walls on either side, so it's like semi-private.
Hey. I'm going to make sure that I am in the middle of the booth. Like, I've got papers spread out. Like, some of them are union contracts. I'm just going to make sure that I'm up on whatever the regulations are. I'm making sure that they're getting their standard union rates. I'm going to make sure that we've hired the appropriate number of goblinoids so that we have good bugbear representation. It's very important to keep the bugbears satisfied. Very large.
It's fair.
Is this our first ever time meeting?
I think you guys knew each other, right?
We knew each other. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe the first time meeting directly, but like.
Yeah. I think directly. We've probably been in correspondence.
We've worked in circles.
Right.
We know each other by reputation, certainly.
Right.
Okay.
You've heard of each other, at least.
So I think Dirk and Shiv probably arrive at the same time, but from different directions. Kind of like descending upon the table, like surprisingly quietly for how big we are, and kind of like pour ourselves into this booth, or at least Dirk does, with a little bit of menace.
He sits
first
menacingly.
This is a human-sized establishment, I would imagine, and he's about 2 feet too tall for it.
Yeah, you are wedged in that booth pretty good.
Yeah.
And you still insist on like sitting in the middle. Like, it'd be a lot easier just the edge.
Yeah, I slide all the way in.
And Shiv is gonna also slide in quietly, and he kind of looks like the image I was sharing before this was a dog after they go to the groomer, which is just like completely like shorn down. Yeah. So not a usual like furry hairy bugbear, because he like an Olympic swimmer who does the full body shave for speed. Shiv feels that he owes his stealthiness to having like a very short coat.
Right. Well groomed. Yeah.
Well groomed. And then Shiv's also like a little twitchy, got his collar pulled up, kind of looking around, and also just trying to also play it cool at the same time.
Nice.
So the bugbears like sidle into the booth, and Lockjaw is a hobgoblin, and he's looking at all the contracts. Quaximum is a forest gnome, so he's about 3.5 feet tall, and he's just standing on the bench, also looking at the papers. And when the two bugbears come in, he looks up and he's just like, pardon me, we are meeting some people, and I'm afraid those seats are taken.
Those are Quacks, those. I know I said goblinoids, but I meant they're not.
People. We're
Uh,
not people.
We're meeting two bugbears.
Have you ever seen a bug?
Bugbear. These two are goblins. They are neither bugs nor bears.
I show him a full row of pointy teeth.
Yes. Bugs don't have teeth.
Do they?
It's a fair cop.
Stab this guy, Shiv.
Oh, hold on.
Now.
I can just Quacks. You see, bugbear is not like an owl bear. They're more just. Actually, that would be a prime example.
Owl bears
of
are terrifying. That's good. Yes.
Yes, that is a bugbear. He is a bugbear. He is a bugbear.
I admire your moxie, little guy, but I think we're the people you're meeting. And Shiv is kind of like pulling his dagger in and out of its sheath as he speaks.
Good start.
Quack starts laughing and laughing. And he's like, "Oh, bugbear, like peanut, neither a pea nor a nut." Oh, this is amazing. Wonderful. You learn something every day.
Hey, a waitress comes over to you, and she's like, "Hey, what you having?"
Coffee.
Coffee. All right. What else you having?
2 whiskeys.
Wine.
I'll have 2 whiskeys too.
4 whiskeys, a wine, and a coffee. Be right back. And she goes off.
They always complain, but they want you to tip, and you only have to tip a percentage of the price. So if you just keep getting refills on the coffee, you really don't get stiffed.
Speaking of price, this is a business expense. I assume that you'll be reimbursing this.
Yeah, business expense.
You wanted the Razor Twins, you got us, but you don't have us for long.
Yeah, not for long. Right.
You can file all your expenses at the end of our endeavor, and you will be reimbursed out of the profits we bring in. It will be more than enough to cover it. But I'm not paying for your drinks right now because I'm also broke.
Oh, broke guy? Gonna hire union union toughs and then stiff us with the bill? I see how it is.
Waitress walks up as you're saying, "Stiff us with the bill. You all are broke," and she glances around, puts the drinks down, clearly is keeping an eye on you. Hit me up if you need anything else.
Dirk puts an appropriately generous tip on the table for her to cover this, because he can submit an expense report.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, well, welcome to whatever we said this place was. I'll be right over here if you need help. What was it? Right. The Wandering Rabbit. I'll be right over by the bar if you need me. Wave on.
See, it's your first day here too.
She looks back at you, looks down at the gold, nods and smiles, and walks back over to the bar.
Quick sip of the coffee. This is burnt. This is bad.
It's very bad coffee. What you were expecting.
I have made an error in judgment. Quacks, can you tell them what we're doing here? I need to collect myself.
Well, if we are going to be associates, you would be the associates, of course. And we have heard about a mine that we think we may have salvage claim to, or will figure out a way to have salvage claim to. In any case, I'm sure it will be very lucrative, and we will all be very wealthy as long as we don't die.
That's always the trick, isn't it?
And how much lettuce is in it for the rest of us? How much cabbage?
There isn't any lettuce. That's not how mines work. Those are
no,
farms.
not at all.
Money.
Lettuce grows above the ground.
Money, dough.
Oh. So again, no dough.
We could make bread on the way.
Dirk,
we could buy
help
the
me
bread
out with these
afterwards.
guys.
I'm gonna box both their ears.
All right. Just roll me and athletics. We haven't rolled yet.
Well, it doesn't go well. I rolled the 2.
Okay, so you reach out to hit him, but you knock over the pitcher, right? So, oh, waitress comes back over and she glares at both of you again, and she wipes it up and she puts a new pitcher of water on the table.
Two more
Anything
whiskeys, and I take a double shot.
She takes your glasses and goes and gets you 4 more whiskeys. She brings them to the table.
Now, there will be. It was a platinum mine, so we expect to find
Mithril.
much mithril,
Which is good because mithrill's lighter.
platinum,
Exactly.
but a different metal.
Yep.
Good. It's
Yes.
not Eartha Kitt.
Yeah.
It's a mithril mine. Okay.
We will.
It is mithril, right? How do you guys say it? Am I saying it wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, wait, am I saying the made-up name wrong? Can someone correct me?
Somebody get Tolkien on the phone. He's-
So
He
you
knows
guys,
this,
what
right?
is the plan? So you guys are meeting up here, agreeing to do this here. What is the plan?
Yes.
Because there's like no one's paying you to do this. You got a tip, and the idea is that you will go to this mine that you believe has been abandoned, and that you will find the value there. That you will find valuable things there, and then that's the payoff.
Yeah. So
Do you explain that to us? Is that the idea behind that narrative?
Yes.
All right. So 2 questions. 1, how far away is this mine?
700 miles.
So that's what, almost 3 weeks away?
Well, we have many donkeys.
I take a look at Shiv and like kind of a knowing nod, and I'm like, that could work. That's far enough. That could work.
That's
got half a
perfect
dozen
distance
donkeys.
for us.
Now,
Sounds good.
I assume you're picking up these donkeys once you get closer, right? You're not going to walk 700 miles with donkeys.
No, we're not. Joseph and Mary.
I mean, you can, but it sounds really unpleasant.
How big are these donkeys? Because
I mean, well, how big are donkeys? They're like,
Donkeys have powerful
like-
builds, so it can carry you. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
yeah.
all
I mean,
right.
they could carry. You figure, okay, so with the math you do on it, because you know how much mithril weighs, and you talk to some people about donkeys who know donkeys, and you figured out that should you find what you expect to find, which is mithril ore, raw mithril ore, that you can load down 5,000 gold worth of ore per donkey.
Let's bring 1,000 donkeys.
The greatest
right.
chain of donkeys man has ever seen.
You have my attention, Hobgoblin.
I'm thinking we start with maybe 10 donkeys, see how it goes, and invest that money in more donkeys so that we can bring more ore. We're basically going to trade ore for donkeys. It's just going to feed back into itself until we have essentially all the money in Faerun.
Okay, but we're at least 3 weeks away. And seed money. Talk to me about seed money. Where are we getting the capital to stump up for these donkeys? Also, you might as well tell me about my share too while you're at it.
now look, we know we got a mithril guy, so we need to move this mithril. That's no problem.
Yeah.
But as
Oh,
far
we're
as
going to use our
startup-
guy. To be clear, we're
we're
using our
using our
guy.
guy.
That is in your contract. I see you have attachment to another union
We
organization.
got a writer. Yeah, we got a writer.
This is Guwu Local 3.
Local 1. Yeah, we contract through
Local
local
one.
1. Yeah.
Okay, yes. Well, we will make sure that it moves through local 1. As for seed capital, I have an investor who we will be paying back
Very quickly. Very, very quickly.
very quickly. And what did we say? This was 3 weeks away? So like 3 weeks and maybe like a day or 2.
Got an investor, huh? Is he on the debt or the equity of this investment?
He's we're gonna pay him back very quickly.
Okay,
It's
let me
really-
ask you a more important question. Is he
Yeah.
here in Baldur's Gate, or is he...
Oh God,
there?
no, he's in hell.
Check,
it.
please.
I mean, you got a contract, right?
It's a straightforward
Yes.
contract.
There's definitely a contract. Of course. I thought he was in water
I-
deep.
Hell, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I definitely signed a contract. I'm looking at a little scar on my finger.
Shiv, Get the indemnity. We're gonna need an indemnity agreement on this one. I can tell.
I'm very confident we'll get an 11th donkey, and that donkey will be paying back our dear investors. And after that, we can just even split of donkeys. You can even keep the donkey.
I don't need a donkey. What I need
Well, how
is
else
even
are you
shares.
gonna carry the platinum?
Oh, no. I mean, we need a donkey as part of this going concern, don't get me wrong. What I need is even shares, post expenses, and standard union day wages for both of us.
Yes, of course. You have those drafted up yet? Yes, Quaximum.
Oh, certainly. It seems like a standard contract. Simple
We
enough.
get 2 meals per shift.
2 meals per shift, up to 6 whiskeys, and 5 silver pieces a day.
So at this point, you see Quaxum do a thing that the bugbears haven't seen, that Lockjaw definitely understands. Takes out a piece of parchment out of a nice satchel, blank, places it on the table in front of Lockjaw, taps it, and words appear on it in Gnomish, which Lockjaw can read. And it says something akin to the vole has a head cold this morning. He taps it again, the words disappear. He taps it again, words appear again. Something along the lines of, I shall check with Mr. Owl to see if he has any tea. And he does this several times, rotating through. What Lockjaw knows is this is a cipher that Quaximum has created, that he has taught to Lockjaw, that they use to communicate in such business circumstances like this. It doesn't make any sense to anyone else, but Lockjaw understands that really what these messages mean is something along the lines of, I have no idea if this is a good deal. I don't particularly care. I think we'll be rich.
Well, I think the payout is 5,000 gold per donkey, and we're hard wagering or hard negotiating for 5 silver pieces a day.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Which is
those are union
which is the extent of his
terms.
messages, yes.
Yeah,
Get our per diem or we walk.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Is that an agreeable contract to everyone?
We will have. I'll have this drafted up by the morning. We'll sign the contracts. We'll get moving. Just as soon as we.
Morning, you say, and I look outside to probably the one dingy window, and I can see there's still daylight.
Yeah.
How about now?
No time like the present. Let's move things along.
So
Quax, can you
looks at Lockjaw.
I would like to get this paid off as quickly as possible as well.
Okay.
Yeah, same. That's what I'm worried about.
So then
should.
Quaximum
It's
actually
like we all agree about motivations.
takes out of his satchel a fine calligraphy set. And right there at the table drafts up a legal document.
Nice.
In, what do you prefer, common or goblin?
Put it in Gnomish for all I care.
Oh, okay. I'll write it in Gnomish and you'll just sign it. That sounds excellent.
I check for any. I speak Gnomish.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
Oh,
I shouldn't have
perfect.
told you I was a gnome.
He's writing in, and you shall carry me the entire way. And you're like, no, this part's coming out.
I speak Elvish and Gnomish, the two languages most likely to screw me. Know your enemy.
I speak goblin because we talked about this party ahead of time.
Right. I conveniently speak goblin. All right. So you all sign and you take off. It's the middle of the day. It's like early fall along the Sword Coast. You travel along the coast for the majority of the time, eventually turning eastward towards the Star Mounts, where the roads get smaller and the towns get smaller. And eventually you stop by, where did you say you were headed first?
Sycomer.
Correct. And you come to a mulery, I suppose, where they got mules. I don't know.
Farm?
A farm?
Farm?
A farm is where fruit is, Dylan.
That's
Fruit
true.
and
That is
vegetables.
true. Fact.
And, oh, wait, I guess like cows and... No, a farm is where you eat things. So if there's animals there, you eat them. You don't have... It's not a farm of donkeys, is it? Is it? Oh, I guess a horse farm. We don't eat horse... Okay, fine, you're right.
Donkery.
Yes, it's a donkery. Thank you, it's a donkery.
It's a donkaroo.
David's Donkery. So just painted big letters on the side of this long-ass barn where just donkeys walk around in a circle, I guess. I don't know. So you got your donkeys are waiting for you. Would you like to name them?
All of them?
I don't know. Or call them one thing, I guess. Like, they could all be Dave.
Sleepy, happy, dumpy, grubby, sneezy, bashful dog.
Yes. Okay. Done. All right. You get them loaded up. They got good. The equipment you lined up is good equipment. They seem like healthy donkeys. The satchels seem in pretty good shape. Everything's worn, but it seems like it'll hold. And you all, I guess, head out right away again because that seems to be what you're doing. Is that fair?
Definitely.
I mean,
All right.
I'm not in a hurry anymore.
Right.
Like, we can stick around and see the sights now. We're a couple days out of town, right?
Sure. I mean,
Listen, this is the sort of place that has a donkery.
yes, it has a
I
donkey.
feel like there aren't sites.
Well,
Right. The
there's
site is the donkery.
Right.
Yeah.
There's like an inn, and it's the Inn of the Five Springs because they got these 5 springs. So like the 2 poles of this town are the donkery and like this natural spring they have. But the donkery tends to befoul the natural spring. So it's like, okay, that's kind of where you're at. Anything else you want to do in town before we leave? And actually get to the
shit.
story?
You,
I feel like we're good once we have the donkeys.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah. Once we realize the springs are downhill from the donkery.
Yes, that's fair. Now, when you're leading these donkeys, how are you doing this? So there's 6 of them. I assume they're all roped together in a chain, right, to keep them together. Is that your walk donkeys? I don't know. Maybe they're all separate. I don't know. But you're keeping them in a line for the most part. They're not really going to argue. They're used to this task, so they're just walking along with you. But how are you guys? Like, does someone take point usually? Does someone scout ahead? What do you do?
Does anyone have any degree of survival skill or
Or
ability?
do you all
to
just
read a
walk
map?
in the middle of the
Oh,
open
no.
field with your donkeys?
I'm on a daily rate here, so until I see mithril on the back of a donkey, I'm just following orders.
All right. All right.
We haven't
even
clocked
then,
in until
Trying to
there's
shirk
mithril.
them if I can.
Okay. So it's about from this city to then get further into, like, to get to the edge of the forest where you have to be, because the star mounts are in the center of this thick, overgrown forest, right? So to get to the edge of this forest is going to take a couple days. And the days go relatively smoothly. The track that you're on keeps getting narrower and more overgrown to the point where you're kind of guessing. So whoever has the highest survival, I'd like you to roll for me, please.
Not it.
Definitely
Sorry.
not it.
I got 3 wisdom.
Something.
I have a +2 in survival.
I also have a +3.
All right. Who's
I
that?
don't have wisdom.
Whoever wants to
Yeah, I
roll it,
will-
roll it.
So I will say this. Quaximum is on a donkey, and he seems to quite enjoy being on a donkey. And as the trail gets a little rougher, he starts looking around, and scratches his chin with his big black beard with like wiry hair everywhere, and he reaches into his satchel and takes out what looks like a sort of folded metal ball with like interlocking leaves, and then it opens up on top of like the donkey's head in front of him, and the leaves turn out to be big ears of a robotic little rabbit. And he like trots the donkey along by all the other donkeys, and the bugbears too. Sure, he chuckles a little when he looks at the bugbears again.
I mean, I promise I don't notice. I'm taking a nap on a donkey.
Poor donkeys.
And as he passes each of the donkeys, the rabbit gives out a little purr like this. Let me know if you can hear it.
Oh, cute.
And when you hear the sound of the rabbit, like Quaximum just pats it on the head and says, "Pickle widget, protect," and it purrs, and you feel invigorated. And everyone who hears it gets 10 temporary hit points,
Wow.
Booyah.
including
That's
the
handy.
donkeys.
It's a hell of a wow. The donkey's like, yeah. You're just trotting along.
So those will last till a long rest. So he's doing this every day.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sensible.
It's a good rabbit. It's
Yeah.
got me through many late night study sessions.
Does a rabbit have
Good
a
rabbit.
name?
Good rabbit. Pickle widget.
Pickle widget, right? Okay.
You know, my first automaton I made out of a rutabaga, but rutabaga widget is a silly name.
Okay. So wow. Okay.
Whatever you say, Quaxy.
All right, so you guys head on. You are getting now towards the edge of the forest. You can see the line of trees marching up towards you. So you've made it all the way here. It's starting to get dark. Do you wish to continue on into the forest or rest up here for the evening?
Everybody's
my-
got dark vision, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With my +3
Except the
survival, I
donkeys.
say we should.
What are they gonna do? Trip over shit, break their leg, and lose all value?
Yeah. In a forest.
This is like just a regular forest.
I believe it's the high forest. So it's like it's very elven-y. I mean, it's like,
Okay.
people don't
we
go
don't
in
want to
here.
be wandering
Feels
through
kind
an
of
elf forest.
Yeah,
at
it
night.
feels kind of foreboding. Like you're not supposed like this is an untouched wilderness and it's supposed to stay that way. That kind of thing.
Are there animals
Oh yeah, lots
like
of them.
woodland critters?
Tons of them.
Great. Quaximum will ask a few of them for directions.
Okay, so
For forest gnomes speak to small beasts.
I would like you to roll. I would like you to either roll a knowledge nature or a animal handling.
Great. I am terrible at both of those.
Excellent. Depending what kind of animal you get.
Never realized before now that I'm really a city bugbear.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Talking to probably something burrowing, maybe a badger.
Okay, well, what did you roll? What was your roll?
17.
Oh, okay, yeah. You got a badger, so you kind of like badger, right? And it's good. It's kind of waddling up. What?
A badger after my own heart.
Right.
It's an American badger.
Right.
Sassy
Pauses for a
badger.
second.
Fuck's your fucking problem.
Pauses for a second. Looks at the rest of you. Is like, "Where are we going again? Where are we going again? A mine?" So ask
Oh,
the
yes,
badger.
me. I'm sorry. The way that it was just Dylan. The way that it was described to Lockjaw was that you will go into the forest at a certain point. You've kind of lined up where it is, like with the river and the trees and all and all that. And you march inside for a couple days, and then the ground starts to dip down as the mountains rise up. So right in front of it is like this recessed kind of crevasse, and down in there is where they've set up a vertical mine shaft into the mine. So you have to kind of like creep over the edge, climb down, and you'll get into it. It's a pretty. If someone had seen it, they'd know what it was.
All right. Well, then
Tell
with
the
the
badger we're going to the mine in the mountain's armpit.
When you
So
dig?
exactly. Coxum is very happy to see the badger and says, you are just the one I am looking for. I'm sure you know exactly the thing that I'm trying to locate. It is a very large burrow that goes straight down into the ground.
You don't have to condescend me. I know what a burrow is. Look, if you want to go, you can go. But the doors left a while ago. They knew not to be there.
Why did they know not to be there?
Because of the death.
Oh,
Yeah,
death.
the all death.
The all death.
All death.
He's sort of turning his head over to look at everyone else and saying, "All death, all death."
Yep.
I lean over to Shiv. Hazard pay. Hazard pay.
Do you have any other information about what this all death might be?
It's like a fog. It's really high. It's clear over my head. And he's like, foot and a half tall, right? It overwhelmed him, and it killed John and Stephen and Sally and Richard and
It's terrible.
Doug.
No, not Doug.
Killed them all. I was the only one to live. I was on a rock.
Well, I'm very glad that you lived.
Yeah.
I hope you have the rest of your life.
Well, I'll die alone, but thank you. Anything else?
Well, you have
You like a carrot? Got a carrot? You got a carrot? You have a carrot?
It's a yes, I certainly have a carrot.
I like a carrot. Give me a carrot.
Yes, and also 12 temporary hit points. Which
Thank
is,
you,
I
my
think,
friend.
like it's like 11 times his regular hit points.
Right,
so.
exactly. Like he's the strongest badger to ever live right now.
Great. Those will only last today. So
I'm gonna go kick someone's
going.
ass.
There goes
I know
lunch.
exactly. Badger's got a
These
list.
aren't gonna be fucking Elven Woods no more. This is Badger Wood now.
An hour later, there's a clearing bathed in blood. All right, so so that's what you're told. Is there anything else you wanted to do then before camping for the night or heading straight in?
let's talk about the All Death.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, so the All Death killed many badgers, which is a thing that happened.
Which a tragedy, a great tragedy. I agree.
A
Sure,
great
yeah,
service.
let's go with that. But the badger that survived was standing on a rock. And a badger on a rock is probably what, like 2 feet tall?
Very tall. Yes.
So if we don't fall down, we're above the All Death. I feel like the All Death is an ankle problem.
Yeah, we're all above the all death. Everyone in this party who matters is above the all death. I agree.
Even the mules, even the donkeys. Yeah.
Especially the donkeys.
I couldn't understand what the little fellow was saying, but do we know for sure that this is only a problem if you're badger height?
Well, I mean,
Well,
he
he
said
did say the
that he-
dwarves left.
It's true.
Okay, yeah, so we'll be fine, Dirk.
Did you happen to ask him where the mithril is?
in the mine.
He seemed sad. I didn't want to bother him.
With the fiduciary details?
You know, I was making a friend.
I turn to ship. This is why I don't make friend with dinner.
We're not going to eat it. It's a badger. It's stringy. We'll find a rabbit.
I let out a
Badger's got like
large
10
belly
feet
laugh.
away, right? That's
Yeah.
all the view. Right? It's got about 10 feet. Kind of looks back at Stringy and like huffs a little bit and just keeps on walking.
You can try to take the badger. It's
You
really
keep
strong
walking.
right now.
I can throw eldritch blasts all fucking night.
Should we make camp here or are we going to press on? Boss.
I figure camp here where we can lay down and not worry about an all death.
Gotcha.
I agree.
Right.
And then we'll lay down where there's not an all death, and we'll stand up where there's an all death, and then we'll be fine because the all death kills
Sleep
badgers.
in the trees. I mean, the trees are the canopy is already thick. You could kind of
Sleep in the tree.
climb
Do
up.
I look like a fucking elf to you?
That's fair. It'd be kind of dangerous. I guess it'd be frightening. Well, it's like it's not level ground, so there's a hill nearby that's like another 20 feet up. You could easily climb up and make a campsite there.
I'll climb a tree and just tie myself to a limb for safety, which I do immediately instead of setting up camp,
Okay.
because that's not what I'm paid to do.
Right. Excellent. Anyone else need to do anything before the evening?
Quaximum is perfectly fine setting up the camp and seems to enjoy it very much.
Nice.
Putting everything in its proper place. And then before everyone goes to sleep, Lockjaw, you've seen this before. He cleans an area and then lays out some papers and is working on what looks like gnomish runes and dwarven runes and sort of moving them about. And he's chuckling to himself again because, of course, you know when he made the previous cipher for Lockjaw and Quaximum, he was very proud that he named it Tetanus. But this one, he's very excited. He rushes over to you and says, "I've made another one for us and the bugbears, and I've called it Beetle Bruin." So if the bugbears are interested, he will teach them this cipher that we can use to communicate secretly in writing.
You just
sure they can write?
you just hear Shiv go, "Quaxy, some of us are trying to sleep over here. Keep it down."
Yeah, with your quill.
I'm going to assume that they learned it very well. I'm going to assume.
Also, yeah. So I am, or Dirk is like laying on his back on a thick branch, kind of like at the. Yeah, I mean, he's basically like sleeping like back against the trunk, like in that kind of like slouched
Sure.
over position.
With like it wrapped around the trunk and wrapped around your waist, that kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah. Exactly. So he's not really at risk of falling out. Like this
Yeah.
isn't a strange thing. This isn't a strange way to sleep if you're outside of a comfortable city. But at the comment of "Can they even write?"
Yeah.
he just mumbles in his sleep, "Stab that motherfucker, Shiv."
All right. Anything else you guys want to do for the evening then? I assume you all set up a watch. All right.
Just before going to
luck.
bed. at,
Overtime pay, baby.
Before going to sleep, Lockjaw's hand starts to like cinder a little bit. Like just gets that like little red glowy thing. He looks down, and then his hand bursts into flames. Just kind of puts it over. Yeah. No. Yeah, we're on our way to the mine. It's no man. We have something really good lined up. We've contracted some bugbears, so I'm fairly confident that this is gonna go fine. No, we will get you paid back. I promise. It's not gonna be. Look, it's not gonna be too long. Just give me a little bit. I know you paid for the school loans. I know you got us the seed money, and we're gonna get you back for it. It's gonna be. Just give me a couple more weeks, please. Don't let me on fire again. This hurts so much.
And then it's like, and your hand like begins to vibrate, and you pull it away from your face, and flame shoots like a good 10 feet into the air, and then just extinguishes into like a dark purple smoke and the incredible scent of sulfur.
So I think we got the extension.
Though when your vision is restored, right? Because it's like a bright light in the middle of the darkness.
Yeah.
I rolled a 24 stealth. There is a bugbear looming over you. Well, I guess we're about actually even height, huh? Because you're a hobgoblin.
I'm a hobgoblin, so like we're taller than goblins, but we're still shorter than people. So like 5'6".
All right, yeah. So there's a bugbear looming over you, with a large knife drawn. Investor call.
It went well.
Uh-huh.
Like if it goes badly, my hand actually burns. So we're doing good.
Want you to know, me and my brother, if it comes down between us and you and our investor, we've been in this racket a long time, and we just met you.
I want you to know that I want you to keep being in this racket. I have the utmost support for Guru. I think you do great work. It's very important for our people in general, and I will make sure that you are well outside the blast radius if this goes poorly.
See that you do.
It'll be fine.
24 stealth. I'm already gone.
Shiv is lying
Cloud
down.
passes over the moon. You're just gone.
Shiv is lying down with his head like on a nearby tree trunk and is just like, I'm gonna be watching you, Locky, in your little flamey hand.
I hope so. We're paying you for protection. And carrying.
What are they paying you for?
Yeah, what are you paying us for?
We're paying you so that Aram will have a party of 4 people.
That's a good point.
Fair. 100% fair. It's a nice round number,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you bought muscle. I'm just not sure you bought protection.
So I assume that no one is standing watch then. You're just going to bed because you're city bugbears and you're dumb. Is that
Shiv
fair?
is already like half asleep.
Okay.
That whole exchange happened like as Shiv was falling asleep.
It's not that I'm dumb. It's that I'm lazy.
Fair enough.
If
I'll take it.
I'm not told
Yeah.
that I have to,
Right.
I'm not volunteering.
All right.
Yeah.
Then you all go to bed. It is a uncomfortable night. Like, when you can never quite get the right temperature, or you can never quite lay right, or there's a soreness in your shoulders, and you just can't. Man, I'm just old, but you just you just can't find a comfortable place to be. And your dreams are chaotic and jumbled. Nothing really that you remember in the morning, just a feeling of unease throughout the evening. And you all kind of wake up tired. Not like a level of exhaustion tired, but it's just not a good night's sleep for any of you.
I will brew some campfire coffee. I have my priorities straight. That's what matters.
Excellent. All right, so you make some coffee. What are the rest of you doing as you get ready? Just getting your stuff together? Untying yourself from a tree?
Untying myself from a tree. It's a quick release knot. It's fine.
Shiv is doing his morning grooming, so he has an extra blade that's just for his shearing. So he's doing some shearing and also smoking. His ritual is that he also smokes his pipe while he does that. So it's like got the pipe, doing the shearing. Maybe grab as Lockjaw is pouring coffee. Shiv is like, "Thank you. I was hoping you would make that." And just grabs it and starts drinking it.
I pour a heavy pour out of my flask into the coffee cup and also take a cup.
Nice.
Thanks, boss.
Those I will.
Does Quaxium take a coffee as well?
No, thank you, no.
Oh, okay.
Um,
If you had, you'd be out of coffee. There was only
we take
3
all the
cups
coffee?
in the thing. So nice. You saved one for Lockjaw. Well done.
Quaximum unfurls Pickle Widget again, as he does every morning. Pats him on the head, purrs, and then makes the rounds on all the donkeys, making sure that all the donkeys are feeling good. 11 temporary HP.
And the donkeys like get it. They've now associated this feeling of like incredible health and wellness and happiness with you. It like takes away all their soreness and like so as soon as you start walking out with this little owl, they all just lean in and butt their heads against you and kind of jump up and they're all just you have a bunch of pet donkeys at this point.
Pet donkeys, excellent. And I don't have carrots, so I guess donkeys eat grass, I guess. He's just pulling up lumps of grass out of the ground and just feeding them to the donkeys. But he takes like a bag of ball bearings, takes them out and then feeds them, a few of them at a time to Pickle Widget, which just sort of like a...
Well, you feed the ball bearings to Pickle Widget? Okay, gotcha.
To the metal rabbit eats ball bearings, yeah.
An ungodly sound of the metal beak crunching metal ball bearings into a kind of powder that it then like like swallow. It is a really upsetting process.
Isn't it adorable? It's adorable.
Yeah.
He does this all the time. I love it.
So you guys break camp and you head into the deep dark forest, and it is immediately dim. Like the walls just close around you. The canopy is solid and heavy throughout and several hundred feet above you because these are big, thick trees, and you're immediately moving at about half speed. You have to go up and down and around. You're having to constantly check where you are, and you just start moving into the forest. Any walking order? Or we're just like, fuck it. We're just...
Everything seemed to go fine so far.
Okay, fair.
I think up front it's probably Lockjaw and Quaximum.
Right.
I assume Quaximum is riding the donkey, but I also assume that Quaximum has no idea how to steer a donkey.
He just keeps patting it on the head and pointing in random directions and assuming that works.
Are you on the first donkey? Because they're all tied by a rope. You just be on the last one. Doesn't matter.
Oh, then I'm probably on second donkey, right?
There you go. Right. As long as the first one's put it the right way. Yeah.
So I'm not even on it. I'm just leading it. Like
you're
walking beside
leading.
the donkey.
Okay, then
Perfect.
I need a survival roll from you, please.
But that's a bad choice. Why would you do that?
Because you're
This
leading
is-
the donkeys.
We had a pretty fitful night of sleep. This is a pretty like foreboding place where it seems like there's danger afoot, right?
Always. It's like
Yeah, it would be a really bad place to roll a 2 on a survival check.
Dylan, take a D4 from guidance.
Nice.
Not gonna help. You should.
You know this Quaximum is a consummate kibitzer.
Well then, let me get my D4 from my handy dandy dice bag.
Right. Wow. Fancy.
Child
I think-
Dylan was a great kid.
While Dylan is doing this,
Yes.
I think Dirk will kind of take Shiv aside and be like, You sleep well last night?
I didn't catch but a couple winks. I'm exhausted.
I hate to say this, but I think these idiots are out of their element. We're going to get killed if we don't step in here.
For the record, that D4 has brought us up to a total of 5.
I reiterate, these idiots are going to get us killed here.
You know, I don't like to have to do anything that hasn't been added to our contract or our rider, but I guess you're probably right. If we don't live, we don't get the mithril.
I know.
All right, so we want to go to the mine, so probably down the hill would be toward. Yeah? Yeah.
But donkeys nod. All right, and you guys head out, and you go through 2 days. The first day is tough. The first night is even tougher. There is constant noise in these forests. It is just weird. Everything doesn't sound quite right. Some animals sound too loud. Some noises sound too muffled. Nothing feels right in these woods. And the second night is even tougher. And the third day, you're not any closer. You should be at the mine, and you're not there. And you're not. And these trees aren't giving up, and nothing seems to be where you thought it was going to be.
Hey, Quaxy, why don't you ask one of your little badger friends where we are, where we're going? I don't think we're making progress here.
Yes, of course. Same kind of animals in this area?
More animals, many more animals in this area. And
Oh,
what would you
lovely.
like?
I would like a bird.
Excellent. Roll me an animal handling.
Haha.
Just to see what kind of animal you get.
14.
Okay. Yeah. So you get a let's say a hawk. So like you cast it. How do you cast this spell? How does this work?
This isn't a spell. This is
Sorry.
forest gnomes
This
speak
is just
to
a thing
small
you can
beasts.
do.
Oh, okay. So as a gnome, how do you call down this hawk that you spot in the sky?
Oh, a terrible approximation of a hawk's call. Quaximum probably has never actually heard a hawk's call.
Okay.
He just assumes it's something like,
so you do this a couple times, right?
and then also waves a metal rabbit.
Right. Perfect. All right. So, like, if a hawk could cock its head, like, the hawk kind of like swoops down and like lands on a branch kind of near you and looks at you and is like, "Yeah."
Uh,
What the hell is
pardon? That's the purring.
that? Oh. Okay.
So
The hawk now has 11 temporary hit
Temp
points.
HP.
apologies for the deception, but perhaps that make things a bit better.
All you 2 legs lie.
Well,
You also have 2 legs. I can't understand
not-
hawks. Never mind.
That wasn't the best thing, was it? Fuck.
Got him.
It's true. I only trust the donkeys. Would you happen to know where there is a very large hole in the ground where dwarves used to live?
Yeah. Yeah. Want their wing? Yeah, you like passed it by like half a day.
Lovely. Thank you.
Why are you here?
You have a lovely forest. We are going to see where the dwarves used to live.
Phew, you're gonna die. And flaps their wings and takes off.
So like a big smile cracks and turns to the others and is like, "It agreed with the badger. It also thinks we're going to die, but the hole is that way."
No, so you overshot it by about a day. So you turn back around one more night in this godforsaken jungle, and you do finally come upon the mine. Now, unfortunately, you come upon it from the opposite side. So you're looking out across this big, huge ravine, basically, and you can see the road down on the other side. So you could go all the way around and then down on this makeshift road that the dwarves dug, or you could try and climb down on the side you're at.
They can
Donkeys.
climb.
Right. So I take it you walk around.
Yeah, donkeys not renowned for climbing skills.
Sure, fair enough. All right, it's gonna take you until the evening to get around.
We should
the
have
edge.
gotten mountain donkeys.
What a
mean
flying donkeys!
goats.
Right? Yeah. Goats can't hold as much. That's the problem. Plus, they eat all the shit.
But you could hang bags on their horns.
They would have eaten
That's
all my
extra
ball
bad.
bearings.
All right, so you start to make your way around this crater. You can look into it now, and it is what you expected. It's this large open crevasse, mostly free of trees and foliage. A lot of moss and brush and like lower hanging vegetation. And then in the center, they've clearly dug down into the lowest part a shaft about maybe 10 feet by 10 feet. There's a wooden structure above it with canvas wrapped everywhere. And you can see corpses. There's donkeys and horses, some chickens. There's animal corpses all around. All at this point, just bone. There's not any flesh left on any of them. But you can see like where rotting ropes are still tied to collars around their necks and to these various posts around here. You can see pickaxes, ripped up canvas from tents, just a scattering of stuff everywhere as you're walking around. And then by the time you get to the edge where the road is, it has gone quite dark.
So they all laid down, and that was their mistake because we are much taller than badgers.
It's true.
Yeah, is there a way without getting too close that I can kind of try to maybe like medicine or something, try to figure out exactly what could cause this?
Roll me a medicine. Yeah.
17 plus 5, 22.
Shit. Okay. Yeah. So, like, you notice that for some reason, you notice that, like, the bones of some of the animals' heads are, like, twisted back in unnatural ways, and, like, the hooves are bent back and the legs are twisted under. Clearly, these animals died in pain, struggling and fighting. They could have been poisoned. That kind of tracks with what the badger was saying, where this death washed over people. So that all kind of lines up. There are no humanoid bones from what you can see.
And is there any like clear mist or anything on the ground? Because we heard about a mist, right?
I mean, there's like a little bit of fog here and there, right? There's like this jungle is humid in general, so
Yeah.
there's just there's kind of there's like a low hanging, like a little bit of wisps here and there, but mostly it burned off in the morning, and it's just starting to collect again now.
So Quaxum is going to clear another like space of bare earth, and then he pulls out a quill from his calligraphy set and starts scratching out runes again, except that these runes begin to glow. And in about 10 minutes, he casts the Detect Magic ritual.
Okay. And where
So
are you
now,
casting it?
On me, because
Right.
I can now see magical auras within 30 feet of me.
Excellent.
And then I will walk around making, investigation, perception, any of those things to see if there's any magic afoot.
Are you descending into this area, or are you staying above?
I would like
looking
to
down.
first circle around and
Sure.
go near some of the bodies.
Okay.
If there's nothing terrifying, then he'll begin to edge toward the lip, but not quite go so that he can see down it. Does anything happen so far?
If you were to look at, say, a magical sword, okay,
Mhm.
the entire blade would glow with a certain color light that would be indicative of whatever magics were influencing it. But it would, like, the entire thing would illuminate, right? Here, there's like this background radiation. There's like a little bit of static at 20% laid over everything. It just kind of rumbles and sits there. So there's like this like real faint background radiation of magic everywhere, but nothing really strong and no real center of it.
So do I think that means that there was something very strong here previously and it's left a residue?
It could either be there was something really strong here recently, or there's this low level of background magic at all times here. One of those
Okay.
two.
Then
And as you're doing that, there is a crack like thunder. And off in the distance, somewhere back where you were originally coming in, a beam of light shoots into the sky, parts the clouds as they swirl around it, and then vanishes.
do you think that was us?
No.
Maybe someone else got a call from their investors.
All right, so if no one else objects, Quaxman will then take a ball bearing out of his bag, tap it, it glows with light, and tosses it down the mine.
So just drops it into the shaft.
Like
Okay.
is not close enough to look down himself yet.
Yeah.
Just sort of like lobs it in
So
and waits to see what happens and how long before it hits bottom.
So it's not far. It's only about 20 feet down. Because how this mine is made is that it's a shaft 20 feet down, and then it goes due west. And they've dug down, they've reinforced the edges, and they've run tracks. So there's a mine cart track that goes straight into the pit, curves down at a 90-degree angle, goes down, and then comes back out. And the way that these mine carts are built is that there's one on the outside that you can see. And it's got like almost like a roller coaster where it sits on top, but it also has wheels on the side. And the entire thing shifts and can self-balance. So as it comes towards the edge, the wheels go down, the cart turns sideways so that it can stay balanced, right? And it's got a frame that meets it in the middle so that the thing can swing freely. And then when it gets to the bottom, it would level out again and continue on. And there's one cart right outside the mine. There's nothing you can see inside the mine except for the opening and then the suggestion that it goes west. But there is a cart covered with a tarp about 20 feet outside of the entrance.
It's not deep at all. Anything magical?
That tarp.
Nothing magical inside. Nothing more than the background radiation you're seeing. When you pull that tarp off, it is filled with mithril. It is
How
to
many
the brim.
donkeys worth of mithril?
Probably 12.
Well, we don't even have to go in. We've got load the bags.
Yeah.
Bag of
Load the
holding
bags
too.
and leave.
Let's get this working.
Yeah. Is that what you want to do? You want to start right away? It's like 1 a.m. You're tired.
Nothing magical about the mithril.
I mean, is mithril magical by nature as a metal?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think
So
it's
no.
just aluminum.
Yeah, it just glows with the same. It's just rare, basically. I think it takes magic. I think I read something about like it takes magic better. Like, it's a better whatever base for magic. I don't know.
It's fantasy.
I got a mithril guy. I don't have to know this stuff.
Right, exactly. You just sell it.
I summon weapons from the ether, so I don't care.
I would.
It would take you all, especially you two would know, probably 6 hours to pack all these mules and get them going. You could, if you were to throw out some of your gear, get another 10,000 in mithril on those donkeys. No, I'm sorry, another 5,000 in mithril on those donkeys. You'd have to throw out your camping stuff and the majority of like the rations you took.
We can double back. We can make multiple trips. Like, I think it's more important that we have the coffee.
Before bird in hand and all that, but before that, I would like to perhaps perform a little ritual that I learned working with some real lowlifes. And I will take out what is actually my holy symbol, which is a dagger. And I will use it kind of like a divining rod for about 10 minutes as I'm kind of like pointing around different areas to detect poison and disease.
Oh, excellent. Okay. How does that work? It just shows you poison and disease?
Yeah, it's a ritual spell, and it's location of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of you. You also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case. It can penetrate most barriers, but it's blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, 3 feet of wood or dirt, and presumably my twin brother's, personality.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Just the scent. And so when you walk, actually, you're perfectly groomed. You smell like lilacs every morning. That's what you smell like.
Yeah, right. Personality, poisonous.
Exactly.
That's why the Razor twins get along.
Every creature radiates like the poison seeped into their bones. It still lingers. There's still some evidence of it, and it is wholly alien. You don't like it. It seems familiar to a cyanide, but at the same time, it feels like it also could just be thick smoke, and like that's the damage. So there's definitely poisons here, but it keeps fluctuating and changing colors because it can't settle on anything that you know of. This is something totally alien.
This is concerning.
It's also why we're not going in. We're loading up the donkeys tomorrow morning because that sounds tedious and I don't want to. And we're paying off our debts and we're taking a little bit of seed money. We can pay you to come back out here. We can load up more. We don't have to go into the hole because there's a pile of money here.
Point of order. How much debt do you owe? And after you pay us our wages and shares, will it cover your debt? Your share?
Well, the conversion rates fluctuate, but it'll mostly cover it.
You're not thinking of pulling a flim flam on us, are you, Lockie?
Is that a Quacks? Is that a gnome thing?
Probably. I think I've been a good influence on him.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna pull a flim flam.
Flim flams for everyone.
Yeah.
Stab this fucking guy,
With
Shiv.
all this money, we'll all buy flim flams.
Who wants a flim flam? Do you want a flim flam? We can get you 2 flim flams with this much.
The donkeys want a flim
Shiv-
flam. They don't know what it
Shiv-
is, but they want one.
Shiv is gonna pull out his dagger and be like, "Say flim flam one more time."
No, thank you. Perhaps
They're just gonna
tonight
hold out the
we-
hand to his side and let like just kind of tendrils of black smoke just kind of coalesce into a maul.
Shiv will take several steps backwards.
We are getting along fine so far. And I'm very close to making a large payment on a loan that will cost me quite dearly if I don't pay off. You will get paid. We can come back here and you can get paid a second time. But if you point a dagger at me again, we're going to have problems, Bugbear.
Seems like without us, you're going to have problems either way.
Yeah.
Or we could all just have money. No problems in money, or problems all around. What are we picking? Quacks, I like the idea of money. Do you like money?
I love money. Perhaps we all load a single donkey each tonight, sleep on it, and then gather more money in the morning.
I got a bit of concern about the poison situation.
Agreed.
All right.
Okay, so first of all, is the mithril safe or is that also poison?
The
Oh, yeah,
mithril,
that would
I
be
mean,
important to know.
everything's got like this, like, it's not like you're going to contact poison and you're going to die because you touch the mithril. It's fine. You can touch it. This is,
Yeah, I know, but if I got to carry that for 4 days.
you can pick up the bones too. He's just getting
Okay.
residuals. Like there
Got it,
was
got it. Okay.
poison here. You're still not going to die from it. It's not like it's active and going to take you out. Yeah.
It's not a coating of arsenic on
I'm
top
just
of
trying to tell a story, Dirk.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah, so yeah, you'd be fine. You could load some tonight, load some tomorrow morning. It is like 1:30 in the morning now, so it is getting a little late. Shiv needs their beauty rest.
I'm taking
A
it.
lot of trimming in the morning.
I got a
Alright.
lot of trimming.
We can discuss this in the morning. I'm taking a nap.
Okay, so you set up for the
No more
evening.
mole.
Does anyone stand watch this time?
Now that things are a little wonky,
Yeah.
Quaximum will draw different runes and then cast the alarm spell as a ritual.
Nice.
If anything enters that is not us, a rooster will crow.
I think Shiv is gonna keep watch because he's worried about the flim flam situation. He
Okay.
wants to keep watch on these two more than anything else.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, and I'll trade off watch with Shiv for the same reasons.
Perfect. Okay. Then You all have a nice evening. So you switch off watches. Nothing really happens. There's again, it's uncomfortable here. You're never comfortable. You're never not tense. It always feels like something is going to happen, but nothing ever does, and that kind of makes it worse. While you sleep, Shiv, you have a dream. You are sitting at a long banquet table, and you're being brought onion soup. And in the middle of the table is a silver key, this large, ornate silver key with 3 missing settings, as if there were supposed to be 3 gems in it. Dirk, you have a dream of a massive indoor forest covered in domes all around you. And you're walking through this forest, because at first you're in the forest you're in, but then it begins to shift into this other one. And you can see the dome ahead now. You know you're indoors. And you can hear this horn blast from somewhere behind you. And that horn fills you with fear. Lockjaw, you are seated in this beautiful, like, upholstered chair. It's worn. It's seen better days, but they were nice when they were first made. And you were in a room that clearly isn't meant to be a boxing ring, but has been turned into a boxing ring. The furniture and everything's been shoved to the sides. The rug's been rolled up. You're otherwise in like a nice fancy parlor in what is obviously a mansion. And you kind of look to your left, and out the window, all you can see is this green tendrils of smoke and fog that look very foreboding. Quaxium, you dream of a different land, something like here but not. And you're standing on the ramparts of a castle of this beautiful amber stone, looking out over this familiar yet alien forest. And there's a 100-foot tall giant walking towards you about a mile away. And those are the dreams you have.
So is it morning?
Yep. Again,
Who else
not a
had a
great
fucked
night's
up
sleep.
dream?
Yeah.
Because I had a dream that I was in this forest and there was a loud horn, and then you were all terrified, and I didn't understand why.
Quaximum wiggles his fingers, and then he's like, "Oh, did the horn sound like this?" And then there's a noise like,
Yeah, that was pretty terrifying.
I could see. Yes, that makes sense. I also had a dream. There was a giant, and it was coming to smash my castle.
I just dreamed about watching a boxing match, and it was foggy. Wasn't really that. It was weird, but like wasn't troubling.
I dreamt about a silver key. Kind of reminded me, Dirk. You remember that one job that one job with the guy in the thing, the key?
Yeah, the
was
guy
like
in the
that-
place.
Yeah, exactly. It was that kind of thing, that kind of key. But this one, it looked like it had 3 settings in it, where there should have been gemstones that were missing.
Oh, like a silver moon sucker punch.
The old silver moon sucker punch.
Interesting.
Look over at Quack.
Quack says, "I think they have their own cipher."
It's called a rap sheet.
So it's morning. It's bright and clear. A little chilly, probably like, lower 50s, I would say. But you guys are all furry. Well, except for the gnome. So for most of you, this is actually really, really
well,
nice.
like this.
And except for Shiv.
Right, exactly. Right. You don't quite have the coating you would normally have. And do you just pack up you figure it'll take about 6 hours to unpack, repack the donkeys, get all the ore in there, move it all from the cart, and then you should be able to get going. 5 hours if you hustle.
Step 1, coffee.
Right.
Step 2, I'm
two.
actually going to specifically bring a cup of coffee to Shiv.
Nice.
Listen, I have no idea what a flim flam is. I'm going to be straight with you on that one. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I've been sleeping like shit. It's very late, very stressed. I understand your concerns. I'm going to make sure that you guys get paid. I just also have to take care of this whole situation, because like if I burst into flames and I'm sucked into the deepest pits of Tartarus, nobody's getting paid. And like I just want to make sure everybody's good. I'm sorry that we got shitty. You think we can just work?
Loxy, that's real big of you to come over here, apologize. I accept your apology. And Shiv takes the coffee,
Good.
cheers, starts drinking it, goes back to his grooming.
Adorable.
You hear
Do a
the
little-
very loud and conspicuous sound of a large dagger sliding back into a sheath.
Everybody and all the donkeys gets 10 temporary hit points.
Donkeys are all
Yay!
all happy around you, like nuzzling up, getting all ready, putting their back up so it's easier to fill their pouches. All right, and then you spend the next, let's say, 5 hours. The donkeys are now really into it. They're really rested and ready and enthused, and so they line up, and they're very easy to work with today. And you get them all loaded up in 5 hours. Sound right? Unless you want to do something else
That's
first.
fair.
I figured
I
you
have
wanted
a
to load them up
hard
and get
time.
out.
I have a hard time seeing myself hustle, but I'll believe that the rest of you can get it done in 5 hours.
You're consistent, right? It's a consistent amount of work. It's fair. So 5 hours later, you've got all these donkeys loaded up. It's running around 2 or 3 p.m. right now. You've had a little bite to eat. You've drank some water. It's starting to get warmer, maybe like upper 60s now. And that's pretty much it. You ready to head out?
Hard work with it, D&D.
Can we ask one of your critter friends instead of trusting the boss to figure this out?
What would you like me to ask them?
The way out?
Oh, I think it's toward the giant light in the sky.
Isn't
Sun?
it east, though? No, we went
The-
east.
The one
Right.
from yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, at the beam of oh
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Don't fuck it up.
All right, so you guys start heading up this road with the donkeys in tow, and it starts, it's going well, but the donkeys start to get a little nervous as they start going up this road. It's weird that they're pulling at the ropes and like kind of like looking around, and they seem anxious. And then there's a rumble underground.
Shiv is like gonna freeze in place and in a trying to not sound like he's very freaked out and has a very shaky voice say, anyone else feel a little rumbly?
It's not subtle. The leaves
I mean,
are shaking, the trees, there's branches cracking above you.
Quaxy, what is this?
Well, I'll make an Arcana check.
Okay. Roll knowledge arcana. Well, not knowledge arcana. God, 3.5 rolls. Roll arcana.
Fair
Thank you.
enough. That is a 21.
Yeah. So this all feels familiar. There's the rumbling is not magical, but there's magical energy beneath the ground pushing. And as you follow along to the source of where this is, you go back to the mine shaft, and you see this green smoke beginning to billow out of the mine shaft and begin to fill the bowl slowly.
Does this feel like an all death?
It doesn't feel good. It feels bad. That is not good magic. That is death
it's
magic.
currently looking at least like a some death.
Yes, it's a maybe death right now. And the donkeys begin to pull wildly. I need animal handling from whoever wants to try. And if you guys want to team up, it'll be with advantage.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
definitely try. I'm a +3. I don't really have any great proficiency here.
Sure.
Someone
I'll
else.
I'll
Yeah.
help. Oh, I don't have much either. It's +2, but I would help.
Yeah.
And then I'll guidance you.
Nice. Perfect. Roll
All
them
right.
up.
Ooh.
Have you considered pulling harder?
We both roll, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just got a natural 20.
All right.
Well, that's why you bring your brother.
So you rolled with advantage, Dirk. What did you get?
16.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, you guys have this. Like they buck, but you have them, and you got them under control. You're able to get yourself and the donkeys out of this pit before it fills with fog, and then the fog stops right at the lip of it, and now just kind of like just kind of like roils over the top of it, like if it's a boiling pot of water, just right at the top.
Time to go.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. So you head on out.
What are you waiting for?
So you begin walking, and you are walking. It still is slightly upward as you're heading up and out of the forest, and there is fog advancing. It has now gotten thick. It's about a 10-foot wall, and you constantly are seeing it creep through the jungle behind you.
It's 10 feet tall.
10 feet
This wall
tall.
of fog.
Yeah, solid. So it doesn't it literally comes through the trees, but it's at 10 feet tall, and it's almost like a solid as it's coming out through
This is
you.
the green fog?
Yeah, same green fog.
How fast can we unload this mithril?
But the donkeys are moving at a pretty decent pace, kind of the same pace they were moving at before. So, I mean, if you have to, at some point, you may have to ditch them and keep running. Like, right now it's a constantly advancing wall. So
How quickly is it advancing?
So at the pace of like a brisk walk, it's matching your pace.
Let's take a brisker walk.
Let's fucking up this to a jog even.
If you guys were to
Yeah,
take on a level of exhaustion, you could outpace the wall until evening.
Aram,
Yeah.
I am an athlete.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Do you think that perhaps I would not be exhausted from upgrading my walk?
okay, but for how long?
Only one way to know for sure.
Okay, fair enough. So, I mean, you're walking, and it's like 2 p.m., right? So you're walking for an hour, for 2 hours, for 3 hours, for 4 hours, pushing at this pace. The fog is relentless. It does not stop.
If one were, say, riding a donkey and pushing the donkey, would the donkey be exhausted?
No, the donkey's okay. The donkeys do this. Eventually, yes, they will be. They are starting to complain, but they're still moving out of fear.
Great, definitely riding a donkey.
Excellent. All right, I would say you guys ride and walk for another couple hours. It's now 6 hours of constant travel. It's starting to get dark again. What's the plan?
So it's matching us this entire way.
Yes, it has not stopped. You have not even paused for a break.
Let's grab the mithril, he said. Oh, we'll get paid, he said. We can always come back, he said.
I'm
Hawk
sorry.
flies over.
Did you want to go into the
Told
fucking mine
you.
first? You could have walked into the mine, and then, there would have been like an earthquake, and the world would have vomited a fog of poisonous death, I assume. I don't know. I haven't gone back to check how poisonous this fog is, but I'm not going to either.
As you say that, like you walk past and like a deer looks up, kind of off to the side, and the fog like wraps over it, and it kind of startles, and immediately like screams. You hear the neck crack as it folds over. You see the legs fold under, and it just collapses to the ground, and there's this wet crunching noise as it vanishes into the fog.
Pretty deadly fog.
That's tremendously poisonous.
That didn't look like poison.
What else can we do but run?
Yeah. All right, so you keep moving. I need a survival roll from whoever is leading this band of desperation.
Yeah, who's leading the retreat?
I mean,
Is it
I'll
just-
roll it. Yeah,
There you
I'm
go.
rolling just straight wisdom.
I have a +3, but
Yeah.
I would prefer to guidance whoever's doing it.
Smart.
All right,
Guidance
that
is
works.
so great.
I will go do that. Like I'm heels and toes here.
Yep.
That's a 15 with the guidance plus 3, so 19.
Okay, so you are getting tired, even though you are a superior athlete.
Thank you.
It is starting to wear on you. It's wearing on the donkeys. They're starting to complain. It's harder to manage them, and you guys are just starting to feel a little scared and hopeless. And then you just like you can tell there's a clearing off to your right. You can see some signs of it. You've gotten used to this. To these woods by now, and you pull everyone to the right, a little bit off from where you were going, and this clearing opens up. This perfect, beautiful green mound just in the middle, free of trees, free of obstruction, free of all this undergrowth and ivy that's been pulling at your legs. You've been trying to walk, and it's high. It's like 30 feet high, higher than the fog would be.
Well, that was fortuitous. I say we get up this hill.
Right
All
up
right.
the fucking hill.
You all go up the hill, and a minute later, the fog has enveloped all around you. So you're now on this island as this fog rolls and plays all around you.
Just gonna flop down on my back on the hill. Just look over towards Quaximum. I think that badger's fucked.
Unless you found a rock, a really high rock. If you found an 11-foot rock, he's okay.
Yeah, we didn't ask how tall the rock was.
I mean,
true.
it was a rock that a
at
badger
the
could
top
get
of
on
the
top
mountain.
of.
It's a rock.
Badger has a
Perhaps
skewed
it'll
sense of
find a
proportion.
tall tree.
Yeah. Badgers climb trees.
If they have to. Just like the rest of us.
Fair. All right, it's getting late and you're exhausted. What are you doing?
I'm going to take a bit of mithril ore and
Yeah.
try to experiment with this fog. So I'm going to just take it and like kind of grab a bit of it and like
Sure.
toss it in.
Yeah. So you
and-
toss
and
like
kinda see
25
what happens.
worth of
That's-
gold of mithril
but
into
that's
the
where-
fog.
Oh,
It goes dink, dink, dink,
Maybe
and
like
rolls
2.
into it.
We can collect it.
Afterwards, assuming the fog goes
Think.
away. Yeah.
Right now,
Yeah, so you-
currently we're not going to get anything.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, nothing happens. There's no reaction from the fog.
Okay.
all right. I will start my ritual with the dagger as well. I want to see if this is a similar poison to what I detected earlier.
Yes,
But
it
that'll take me,
absolutely
like,
is
10
the same.
minutes.
It's obviously much
Right.
stronger and much more concentrated. I mean,
Yeah.
it vibrates with magical energy, but it is
Got
the
it.
same.
I'm gonna-
Maximum, while that's happening, we'll detect magic.
Nice.
We'll,
was gonna say-
ritual will cast detect magic.
Yes. Okay.
same sort of thing.
How does detect magic
Invocation.
work? What does it tell you?
Wait, sorry, say it again.
What does detect magic tell you? Does it tell you what type of magic, that kind of thing? I mean, it definitely is magic. It glows like the sun.
I believe
Yes.
a 60-foot cone, and it tells you the school of magic.
Okay. What are the schools of magic?
Raven,
No,
evocation
I'm
for
sorry.
exploding.
No, it's
Yeah.
conjuration.
Hufflepuff.
It's yes, it's Hufflepuff conjuration.
That's
Brave,
that's
evil,
a badger.
smart, miscellaneous.
Yes. Means that they can only
they're-
summon fluffy
it's-
mice.
Abjuration, conjuration, divination, enchantment, evocation, illusion, necromancy, transmutation.
Definitely conjuration.
Okay.
Blinding.
You forgot the other school.
More powerful than you've ever seen. What's the other school?
What is the final school? Shane?
Dunamancy.
Donomancy. You're right.
Don't know what that is.
It's
Honestly,
from
don't.
Wild
Not
Mount.
canon.
Got you. All right, fair enough. Yeah, so it,
It's
yeah,
the
it is,
brand new Aram.
yes. It is brilliant conjuration magic.
Now that Quaxum can actually see it, can you make an Arcana check to learn more about its potential properties, or its will? It seems to chase. It kills.
There doesn't seem to be a will in the fog itself, but there are voices.
Perception, investigation, either of those, or Arcana, whatever you want to
Sure.
figure out what the voices, to hear them, to figure
Roll me a
out what they
perception.
want or they're saying.
Yeah. Perception or investigation, whichever one you want.
Only Quaximum can hear these voices.
Right now, yes, because they're casting detect magic. Yeah.
23.
I'm also gonna.
I mean, you hear some laughter at a dinner party. You hear the rumbling snore of a tiger. You hear a echoing indoor forest and the loud blaring horn. And you hear the powerful pounding footsteps of a giant. And it all just kind of overlaps and fades in and out continuously.
This is quite a cultured murderous fog. Quaximum will wiggle his fingers again and recreate all the sounds that he's hearing audibly with minor illusion.
Awesome. Yeah. Just translating them as you go.
Right.
That sounds like my dream.
And mine.
I got. Yeah.
Also, yes.
Oh, and a boxing ring.
I knew you meant it.
Yeah.
What do we do?
I could make a phone call for advice.
Maybe we go back to sleep and the answer comes to us in our dreams, but the lifeline thing is probably better.
We're on an island surrounded by a killer fog.
Yeah, basically, like it's all closed in around you. So you're basically on the top of an island surrounded by killer fog.
I mean, there's no way to escape. Perhaps we should just take a nap.
Can't
I would-
gnomes
I would-
fly?
Like as a race?
It depends on how strong you are.
Strong enough to make you fly.
I would advise against that because we can collect that mithril you threw later, but quacks will be less useful come morning.
What kind of tree cover do we have?
Oh, so all at the edge, once you're past this mound you're at, it gets into thick forest again, and the trees are taller than the mound is. So you're still kind of hemmed in on all sides.
How far away are the trees from us?
I'd
we
say about
climb a
100
tree?
feet anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can throw a gnome that far.
Well, there is the curve down. You might get like just the edge. You might want to get,
How light are gnomes? Can I mage hand him there?
No, he's not 5 pounds. He's not a pixie.
Worth a shot.
So you all going to go to sleep? Is that basically the idea here?
No.
Or it's the
It's perfectly safe.
the patron.
Yeah. Or talk to the patron. Call daddy. Is that what you call him, by the way? Do you call him daddy? What do you call him?
Oh, of course not. I call them loan services.
Is that what he's called? Do you really call him loan services? Loan services, right? How do you contact him?
It's uniform. It's just my hand has to catch fire. When he does it, it's a little bit more magic. I haven't learned that spell yet, so I
Okay.
just have to start a fire and stick my hand in.
Oh, and just hold your hand over it until he appears?
Yeah, until basically like I hold it like high enough that I can feel the heat, but my hand shouldn't catch fire.
Right.
And then basically, if it picks up, my hand will burst into flames.
So you hold it there, and you hold it there. And it starts to get hot, and it starts to burn. It starts to hurt. You tremble for a moment, and then finally burst into flames.
Hey, can I speak to loan services, please?
Holding for loan
Yeah, I'll
services.
hold.
Boo doo 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 boo. Boo boo boo
Uh,
boo doo doo.
They gotta connect.
Do
me
do
up,
do
please.
do do da do da 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 da. Hello.
Yeah. Hey. So, I'm basically going to describe the situation to my patron. We are trapped on a mountain surrounded by a poisonous fog. It seems to be some sort of conjuration magic that's filled with some sort of space alternate dimension. You guys, is that like is this a hell thing?
Do you
Is
have
this something we can do something about?
the money?
Yeah, we do have the money. We cannot get the money anywhere useful because we're surrounded by this death fog. But if we can get out of the death fog, we cash in this mithril, and I will have the next 2 payments to you immediately. You won't even have to wait. I will have 1 payment in early, even. It'll be great.
10% more.
10% more. I mean, we can probably swing that. Yeah, I mean, but we're gonna need for 10% more. I mean, you got to help me out with this fog thing, right?
The
Like,
fog is death.
that is not helpful actually because we saw it.
The fog dies in the morning.
That is inconvenient because I did not need to call you for that.
10%
No,
more.
I got you. Yep, 10%. Fucking great. Yep, cool. Thanks for that one.
Your hand
Just
goes
kinda-
out and he is gone.
Fuck, that hurts every goddamn
Terrible thing.
time. We should go to sleep.
What'd I tell you?
Shiv, when you're right, you're right.
Thank you, Loxy.
All right, so you all go to sleep. The night passes safely, though everyone's sleep is plagued with nightmares. When the sun finally rises, you stare out at a world gone mad. Instead of the hill where you made camp last night, your bedrolls now lie in a foyer of an ornate mansion. A freshly swept carpet graces the floor. The walls are decorated with bright, colorful tapestries. Brass candelabras line the entranceway that show signs of having recently been polished, filled with burning candles. More frightening than the sudden change from the wilderness to a mansion is the smoking green mist that has risen up even further and surrounds the mansion at a distance of only 30 feet, blocking all sight beyond. No sound penetrates the mist. No light penetrates the mist. There is just this dull haze that seems to permeate everything. The mist advances even as you are watching and goes right up to the open door of this room that you're in and stops just at the edge. And to
Is this
see,
a metaphor for quarantine?
was that? You know, when I first started this, it wasn't, and it kind of got there.
I moved 2 meters away from Dirk.
Ah. So in the map you're in, can you guys see it? Not unless you look at the live. If you look at the live, you'll be able to see the map behind me. But there is a square room. There are windows to the west and east, a pair of them each. There's a doorway where you came in, right there. And then above you, there's another double door that's like set off to the left, almost against the western wall, that is closed. And you're just in this big open room.
How high are the ceilings?
The ceilings are like 30, 40 feet high. Grand, opulent, hammered copper ceilings.
And
I
what's
told you
our
to-
donkey situation?
Yeah.
The donkeys don't look pleased, but they're happy they're not in the fog.
But
Fair.
they are here.
They're here. They're all here. They're all kind of huddled together, looking around. Let's take a quick pause. It's been an hour 50. Let's refill drinks, have a break, and then we'll come back in 10 minutes. That work for everyone?
Yeah, and then we'll
Dope.
solve your mansion puzzle.
Awesome. All right, good deal.
Are we
We are jumping back in. Your
Now
audio is
judgment
back up.
Suspect, but
All right, so you've woken up in this gorgeous tiled, almost like a chessboard, like big, huge tiles, right? Big, huge pieces of marble that have been laid out to make this a floor, each roughly 5 feet wide, as it turns out. And you're in this gorgeous tiled room.
Quaximum takes his time and just lets Pickle Widget purr and purr until everyone is maximally inspired as they can possibly be, and everyone, including the donkeys, gets 13 temporary hit points.
Nice.
Because I think we're gonna need them.
Donkeys are ready.
Yeah.
They're like by the door. Ready. Let's go.
That's not on top of the original, right? Those have like
No,
faded.
No.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
if you get more and you already have them, it's always the largest number that applies. They never.
Oh,
Got
gotcha.
it. Okay.
That's smart.
Well, the Shiv is gonna. You said there were like brass candelabras.
Yes,
Right?
correct.
Shiv is gonna just, do like a lap of the room and examine these candelabras and
Sure.
see their heft, their value, perhaps.
Sure. What would you roll for an appraisal in this game?
It's got to
Maybe
be an
investigate.
investigation.
That makes sense.
Yeah, sounds right.
Unless
I like
it,
that.
unless the item has a skill that applies to it.
Right. That makes sense.
Gonna roll for candelabra, and that is a what did we just say? Investigation 13.
13. Okay, yeah. So they're all incredibly well done. This is very fine craftsmanship. There's not the normal welding you would see where all the rings where they are decorative rings on it all flow freely. So they've been individually clamped and individually made. And there's all this scroll work that clearly hasn't been set. It's all been done individually. There's no seam lines where this was, poured into a mold and then doubled over. This is all very professionally done, where it was poured, individual molds made for each piece, poured down from the top and then broken open. So this is a craftsman's mansion throughout everything. Everything is dripping in wealth and value.
So I'm gonna take a couple of these and I'm gonna bring them over to Dirk and say, souvenirs for the little pouch.
One for me, one for you, none for them.
Precisely.
All right. So from this room, there are windows to the west and east. Again, the fog is right up against them. The doors open to the south. Fog's right up against that. There's another set of double doors to the north and all the way against the western wall.
Lockjaw, do you mind taking a look around with the eyes?
Yeah. I can just kind of one of these, and then when I open my eyes, they are also on fire.
Yes.
And I'm just casting detect magic. We got the
You immediately have to put a hand up to your eye. Everything is glowing magic. The mansion itself is an artifact level magical item, but on top of that, this whole building feels out of time, out of place, connected by a tendril of massive energy beyond this dimension.
just kind of put it out, just a quick little like.
You instantly have a headache.
I don't like this at all.
You okay, Loxy? What do you see?
Care for your eyes.
So you know how the fog is magic? And we're surrounded by the fog. The house is also magic, like super fucking magic, and that's real bright. And like, imagine looking directly into the sun, but the sun was sitting on top of a very, very bright fire, and all of that was then lit on fire.
Why would you look directly at the sun?
It would be a very bad idea. I'm just trying to give you a reference point for brightness, man.
My cousin Gopher Shaker did that one time. We don't
give a
speak of
name
him
or a
much.
nickname.
Was that Gopher Shaker? Is that what?
Gopher Shaker, yes. It's a family name. Like Lumber Stumper, no one in the family has ever lost a game to a tree.
Hey, Shiv, you want to check out that door?
I'm on it. Which
All
door?
Well, the only door. Besides the ones that are open to the south, the only doors out of this room are to the north and along the east wall.
Gotcha. Okay. To the north and along
So,
the east.
sorry,
I see.
so
Okay.
like north and then all the way to the west, like right up against
it.
the wall. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go up to that door and I'll give the handle a little shake or a pull.
You reach for the handle, and just as you're about to touch the handle, the doors just part, and there's a little bit of wind that picks up, and they just effortlessly slide open and stop perfectly at the edge of each wall. No jar, no slam, no shake, just effortless movement. Just perfectly stopped.
We're in Star Trek. That's where we're at.
So you are looking at a hallway. There is a hallway probably about 60 feet long. 3 windows to the left. Everyone has fog just filled to the top of it. There is another door, a smaller one, about midway up this hallway on the right or on the east. And then at the far north, there is another set of doors equal to the ones you just came through. You can hear a bell, like bing, bing, and then there's like a cheer, and then it dies down, and there's activity. Some scraping, some clapping, some jumping in the room to the east.
Are these the same dinner party noises from before?
That bell, who had the dream about the boxing match? That was Dylan, right? Yeah, so Lockjaw, that's the same bell you heard in your dream.
Round ended. That's I know that bell. If there is a boxing match in that room, then the magic has been going on way longer than we've been in this building. And I need to talk to the guy who told us about that mine. And by talk, I mean stab.
We can do that for you for a fee.
5 gold per stab. Not per person, per stab.
Per stab. Yep. Standard union rates.
5 silver a day to act as muscle, but 5 gold per stab
Per
to
stab.
just straight get
Acting
a
as
guy.
muscle means being there and being
Yeah.
a deterrent. That's what you
Right.
get for 5 silver. When you want us
You-
to stab someone, that's a bigger cost. Taking
Whole nother
direct action,
story.
putting
I mean-
ourselves on the line for you.
We can cut you a discount on the individual stabbings if you buy in bulk and just dead the guy.
Just handing out coupons.
Let me show you my pamphlets.
Crank, 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 crank.
I will sneak up to the door, I guess, and take a peek around the corner.
Sure. So you look into. So what, you want to walk up to the middle and look to the east, where the door would go
the
towards
one that
noise.
has the bell.
There's a smaller closed door. So where the other doors were double, this is just one of those doors set into a wall. Where doors would normally be, as opposed to in the middle of the room.
Yeah, right.
There's a door floating a little ways out from the wall.
Did I not mention that? Yeah, it's floating. It's floating. Yeah.
But it's in a jam, right? It's in a door jam.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be stupid.
I'll pad back to Shiv and say, door's closed. Gonna have to check it for traps, probably.
All right, I can do that. I can jimmy that open if need be.
I have not played a rogue in 5e. How the fuck do you check for traps? How do you do it in 5e?
Investigation usually,
Sure.
or if it's like, I don't
When you
know,
can
like
see obviously, then that's perception. It's just
Yeah.
sort of
Gotcha.
up in the air.
Roll investigation. I like this. Checking for traps. That's a classic D&D move.
Yeah, that's a
Classic
15.
D&D module.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, it's the same door as it was. There's nothing around any of the edges. It's all very finely crafted. So there's no gaps in the door. There's no gaps in the woodwork. There's the latch as you hold it, like it just feels like effortless. You just click and it'll just slide right open. But there's nothing untoward that you can see.
What we have here, gentlemen, is a very beautiful, very trap-free door.
What do we
Well,
want?
Right hand rule.
Huh?
yeah, who's opening this door?
I'll open the goddamn door. It's a door. There's not a
There's
trap
like
on it.
there's
It's just-
six donkeys in the other room lined up at the hallway, like looking at at each other. What you're gonna do?
sit.
I close the door behind us.
If donkeys could say, "Well, fuck him."
Yeah.
Just don't go out that other door.
All right, so who's opening the door?
I'll open the door.
All right,
Yeah.
you open the door, and before you is quite the scene. If I can roll down to it. Okay. This room is luxuriously furnished with plush chairs, polished wood tables, ornate rugs, and other fine furniture. All of it has been pushed against the walls, and the carpets have been rolled up. In the middle of the floor is a raised square platform that has been assembled. In some of the text in this module is terrible. In one corner of the ring, a man stands as still as a statue, with his hands raised in a boxer's pose, as completely unmoving, not breathing, not blinking. The man is wearing a pair of amber silk tunic trunks. His chest and feet are bare. You notice that his skin has a slight waxiness that makes it appear unnaturally damp and smooth. Seated near the boxer is a man dressed in colorful silks, fancy lace, and rich velvets. He also wears a large brimmed hat and a flaunting peacock's feather. He has wavy black hair and a closely trimmed beard which comes to a point. Two humanoids wearing tunics and wielding half-spears stand to either side. These humanoids have the same weird, inhuman quality to their skin as well. Why, hello! Come to make a wager, have you? Or have you come to try your luck against my man?
Say more about that wager thing.
Well,
We're
If
not
you can-
going to worry about the magic house thing. We're
If you
going
can
straight for the betting thing.
beat my man, I
The
will
man's
cover up to 10,000 golden bets.
I need an advance
No,
on my day rate.
no advances, young man. You must defeat my chosen champion. Should you win, you win the money. Should I win, I keep yours.
I turn to Lockjaw. Like I said, I need an advance on my day rate.
Do you still have? Would you still have detect magic going?
Yeah.
Right? It would still be going. Okay. So as your eyes wander across all the chairs that have been pushed up against the walls, little floating eyes appear over nearly every single one of them, and you would know that to be arcane eye or whatever, some way that someone could a clairvoyant their way into this room and watch,
Like
and
scrying
would
sensors.
normally would normally be invisible to everyone else, but you're able to see them because your detect magic is still running.
You want to show off because people are watching.
You do have your own mithril.
Yeah, he just wants to be able to spend it. So I would say, yeah, as long as if it comes out of your rate, you spend what you need to.
He flicks
A
his
turn to
fingers next to this ridiculous chair that he's wearing, and a rectangle appears in midair that seems to glow. And there's numbers that appear next to it, and all of your names appear on this area. Your names and 5,000, actually not 5,000 gold. What is 30,000 divided by 4?
75.
7,500, right? So each your names with 7,500 gold next to you. We've tallied your worth. Your credits are good here.
I'm massively uncomfortable with this development.
That's actually inaccurate. That doesn't account for the 5 silver per day that we're owed out of their shares.
These are your own concerns. This is the value we have tallied. And I am being incredibly rude. My name is John Lewis Amber of the House Amber. Welcome to our home.
I don't like this, but I do like fighting.
And I like betting.
Yep.
What
Yeah,
are
I
the
like-
rules? What are the
Well-
rules of these fisticuffs?
Whoever is left standing wins. Those are the only rules.
The only rule?
The only rule, my friend.
And who are the combatants?
Well, he would wave to this statue man, right? And as soon as he waves his hand, it's like the eyes move and he just comes alive and throws a couple punches, and it's like kind of like old school fist in the front, big huge haymaker kind of boxer, you know what I mean? But obviously skilled and precise. There's no wasted movement with this gentleman.
Look, I have no idea where we are or where we're supposed to be going from here. So if you want to take time out of our day in this weird hellmouth to punch a statue, I'm not going to stop you.
Then it's settled. Loxy's not going to stop us.
All right, Dirk, are you getting in there?
I don't see how I wouldn't at this point.
Now, he should have mentioned one thing. There is, I suppose, one rule: no weapons, no physical weapons. Take your corner, sir. And you're allowed to have one person in your corner. Who do you pick?
Shiv.
Yep.
Ah, that's the worst choice.
Fucking no-brainer there.
Yep. As soon as you step into the ring, right? Do you change or anything? Or you just go in as you are?
I mean, I have time to prepare for this?
Yeah, absolutely. Take all the time you need. Take your bets, gentlemen. Take your bets. And a golden tray floats off the table next to him and goes around the room next to all the seats, and gold just appears in piles on top of it.
All right. And as I'm walking up to the ring, first I step into the ring, and then immediately following me, I step into the ring. I invoke duplicity, which is my channel divinity,
Nice.
as a trickery cleric. So there is an illusory me who is right behind me.
Fantastic. Do they
in the
move at the
corner.
exact rate, or do they communicate with each other like if they're real people?
So it's not like mirror image,
Right.
which I'm heavily debating just using mirror image as well.
Sure. Right. Make 16. Yeah. What the fuck? Who cares?
I mean, I'm wagering 7,500 gold on this.
You don't have to wager all of it. You choose. He will cover up to 10,000 golden bets. So you wager whatever you want.
Shiv, how much are we wagering?
You know how we do it, Durkee. Let's go all in.
5,000 each.
Do we think that having one person in your corner means that only one person can do anything, or
They haven't said.
the rest of us like also cast spells?
But as you think that, and as they get lined up, and Dirks and the other Dirks get into the ring, and Shiv gets up on the corner, there's a shimmer, like a box that's around this ring that goes straight up to the ceiling. And it looks like they just got locked off. And if you were to detect magic or some other forms, there would be this impenetrable barrier now between you and them. Doesn't block sound, doesn't block light, but there's no way to get in anymore.
Okay.
So you got Shiv, and that's it.
Can you describe the opponent? I missed
Sure.
the part where.
So
yeah, thanks.
imagine if The Rock, okay, was leaner. Okay, so like a more of a more narrow build, right? Like a more of a Brad Pitt Fight Club build, right? But about 6'4", obviously muscular, wearing a pair of boxing trunks in amber with the house seal on them, barefoot, bare-fisted, shaved head.
Okay.
And not like a shaved head, like there never existed hair on them to begin with. They have no eyebrows, they have no facial hair, they have no hair on their chest or arms or head.
Durkee, this guy doesn't even have any arms on his chest or head. He's scrawny. You can snap him over your knee like a twig. I want you to get in there. I want you to go hard and fast. I want you to faint, and I just want you to dry gulch him.
That's
the
the
dry
plan.
gulch. Sounds awful. That sounds awful.
I'm not spotting them for anything if this goes poorly.
If I'm
Oh,
at
I
a
ex-
sex
I
party
expect you to
and
lose.
someone
I'm
even
not betting
says
anything.
the words dry gulch like within 50 feet of me, I'm sprinting for the door. That is the horrible, horrible thing.
I also say a quick prayer
Excellent.
well, I guess this is the first time I've had to say
Yeah.
a prayer to anybody, but yeah, this is a prayer to Grankul, who is the dead god of the dead bugbear god of hunting, senses, stealth, and surprise.
Cool. What would be a symbol of this god?
It's a dagger.
Okay. So you say this prayer, and you hold, let's say you hold your dagger up to you, like right up to your eye, like you're trying to get sight beyond sight, right? So you hold the blade right up to your eye as you say this a prayer, and for a moment, there's a shimmer along the blade from tip to hilt that could have been the fire reflected in the blade, but felt like something more.
But does it work, man?
It feels like it does. Yes, it works.
Okay.
Yes. Were you casting a spell, or were you just asking for divine favor in
Oh,
general?
sorry. No, I was casting Shield of Faith.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It worked. It totally worked.
Okay. Oh boy.
Ready to
You
go?
put 10,000 gold on the line, and now I got to blow a lot of spells.
Are you two can Lockjaw and Quaxium, you can wager as well.
Oh no, he
Oh
will
no, I'm
lose.
sorry. You got the 10,000 gold. You guys did 5,000 each. That's it then. Okay, so you maxed it out. All right, round 1. I would like you to roll initiative, unless you got something else you want to do.
Yeah. So about that.
Yes.
so, so I'm gonna walk into the center of the ring.
Mm-hmm. The other, the creature walks towards you.
Yeah. And I will kind of like loudly kind of like offer some words towards Maglubiet, the goblin overgod.
Right.
About the importance.
How long
Maglubiet.
did you have to practice that before you had that down?
First of all, I learned that in middle school, so no time at all.
God, I love you. Excellent.
I also pronounce it with the confidence of a white man. So
Yes, you do. All right, so
Who knows?
you say a prayer to Maglubiet.
To Maglubiet, which is my way, which is a prayer of strength and not honor, but like combat prowess and things like that. Which is my blessing of the trickster.
Nice.
To give myself advantage on dexterity stealth checks.
Oh, damn.
Because I want to cheap shot this motherfucker.
Damn. Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right. I would like then you walk up into the ring. They never told you when you could swing
They didn't
or not.
tell me when
so
I could start.
I would like you to roll stealth with advantage.
14 plus 6 is a 20.
Unfortunately, I rolled a natural 20. So you walk up, you look him in the eye, he looks you in the eye, and you just come up with this haymaker, man. It is so quick. It is so fast. You've caught so many people with this one, and wham! Right there. Blocks your punch, looks at you. If a statue could smile, puts their arm down, and goes back to their ring. Leans back and waits for the bell.
Might be time to bet against me. Even the ledgers.
Round
Don't let him
1.
shake you.
Ding,
Don't let
ding.
him shake you, Durkee.
And the thing just like arms up and is advancing towards you with that like Terminator style.
Which one is he advancing towards?
You. Why would he advance towards anyone else? You're the fighter.
There's 2 of them.
There's 2 of me.
Oh, good point. What is the how does that work? Like if I try and hit you, do I have to roll randomly or how does that work?
So I created an illusion of myself.
Yeah.
That lasts. That's annoying. Sorry, I guess I just said a regular prayer instead of giving myself.
I'm in for it.
armor.
Like you did
Anyway.
it. I'm in.
Yeah.
So let's say that it's a 50-50 shot. So I want you to call high or low.
Hang on, sorry. I
Sure.
can cast spells to the illusion. It doesn't. Oh, this is kind of weird.
Okay.
It gives me advantage when it's within 5 feet of the creature I'm attacking.
Okay.
But it doesn't really have any other like direct thing. I guess you can tell it's an illusion. I guess you
just
can
have
just punch.
advantage.
Yeah, I guess so.
Fair enough. So it's just kind of distracting, but they know it's an illusion, that kind of thing.
Yeah, sounds
All
like
right.
it. Yeah.
So they're coming right at you.
Cool.
I'm going to give you first attack.
Well, I'm gonna punch him from 10 feet out because I'm a bugbear and I have long reach, and it's the only thing I can do right now.
Damn right. Roll to hit.
12 plus 6, 18 versus AC.
Yep, that hits.
All right.
Roll damage.
5 damage, right? Because unarmed is just 1.
Oh, you're not trained in unarmed, are you? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. I forgot about
I'm
that.
gonna be here all day.
That's why this encounter's hard. I was looking at this counter like, why is this hard? That's why this is hard. Okay.
Is he surprised because he's like looking at the illusory Dirk?
Yes. Well, I mean, got hit harder than he expected to. Like, Dirk's strong, and that punch came fast, and he blocked the other one, so this was a bit of a surprise. So they kind of put him on his heels a bit, and it's like punching like really hard wax. So your knuckles like sink in a bit, and you kind of pull your hand out, and the imprint is there for a moment, and then like it kind of like, and it kind of like just like waters back out to normal flesh.
Aram, this is important.
Yes.
Is he mechanically surprised? Because then I get surprise attack for an extra 2d6 damage.
Fuck yes, he is. He's mechanically surprised. I will
Nice.
happily give that to you.
Shane, did you say you do 1 damage?
Isn't that what regular
what's your
unarmed
strength?
does?
1 plus the
one-
strength, so 5.
1 plus strength
Yeah,
is
1 plus
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's plus 9 damage. Aram.
Damn. Okay, so you crack him, and he actually stumbles a few steps back, whips his head back around, stares at you, seems to refocus, right? And comes back at you.
Were there any rules read about whoever is in his corner being allowed to like distract his opponent?
None whatsoever.
Cause all right, I'm gonna.
Wait. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm still on my turn. I still
Oh,
have
sorry.
more stuff.
Please go right ahead.
Oh, you
My
are.
apologies.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Would you like to try and distract him while he's acting?
No, I'll wait. I'll
Gotcha.
wait until the statue guy attacks.
Awesome.
Okay, so the dagger that I was praying with,
Yeah.
right? I quickly produce that and like toss it at him.
Mm-hmm.
And in mid-flight, my holy symbol like turns into a spectral dagger. And I've cast spiritual weapon.
All right. It flies straight and true right towards his chest and then vanishes and appears in the gentleman's hand. No
Wait,
weapons, my dear, as we said, and plunks it right into the
He
arm
said no
of his chair.
physical weapons.
What is this? This is a physical weapon. What are you talking
Spiritual weapon.
about? If you
It's a
threw
floating spectral
a
weapon.
dagger,
You're
return to your
holding my
quarters.
spiritual weapon.
Bing, bing, bing. And he pulls it out and he walks over to you and he's like, I am so sorry. Perhaps I was not quite clear. Fisticuffs are all that are allowed in these tournaments. Here's your spiritual dagger back. Rather small, frankly. Anything else you need to know?
I don't appreciate this.
You're really not meant to.
Lean down to
Continue.
Quacks and
Was that?
just
was that-
kind of. I'd like to just lean down to Quacks and just kind of summon my packed weapon in my hand.
Fuck yeah.
That's not physical. Could have had my help.
Yep. Here's
Hope
your-
he enjoys
your
punching shit.
horrible, wispy, dark morning star that seems to scream with the sounds of 1,000 souls. Yes.
You know, I think you found a loophole.
Fortunately, can't get it to him, sadly.
I
So,
think I found a loophole too.
bell goes off, round 2. He advances in and takes a swing at you.
I'm gonna try to do what I can to distract him.
Okay.
I'm gonna shout at him, and what am I gonna do? I'm gonna try to shake his confidence. I'm just gonna be like, you got nothing. My boy's gonna drop you like a ton of bricks.
Roll intimidation.
Okay.
Like a ton of bricks.
Like a ton of bricks. Oh. Natural 1. Plus 2, which is 3.
Yeah.
Remember, we paid 5,000 gold for this experience.
Walking towards,
peace.
hands up, looks over at you, gives the most cutting scoff you have ever received, and then takes a swing.
There.
With 16 plus 7 is going to be 23. Does that hit you?
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Clocks you across the face, and you take 6 points of damage as you get rocked. He's stronger than he should be for his size.
Remember your temp HP.
Yeah, can't forget him. Thanks, D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond. Your action.
Jerky, you're just warming up. You got this. Don't lose confidence. This guy's got nothing on you.
Kind of like my main bag of tricks have gotten banned from the fight, Shiv.
Yeah,
I
well,
say
this-
as I'm like ducking a left and like, blocking a right. Yeah, so I kind of give him the like that move, right? Like, so it's kind of the duck and weave, and then like I move through my strategy here is to kind of move through my illusion,
Yes.
right? And occasionally stop in my illusion's place and
Yeah.
then step out, right? And so he's never quite sure, and that's where like he throws a haymaker at the illusion, and that's
Sure.
where I come in with the cross.
I want you to roll me to hit for your
Mhm.
for your attack, and also roll me a deception.
Okay, so the deception was 15 minus 1 is a
Okay.
14.
Right. Solid.
The attack with advantage was a crit, which is the most useless crit in the world because I don't roll dice.
Right. Right. It's just normal damage.
It's just
Oh,
damage.
it's a bummer. So instead of
Yep.
5, it's 10, right?
No, it's
No.
just 5.
Wait, why?
So on a crit, you
Because
only re-roll your dice.
No, bullshit. No, that's crap. It's 10. We're going to say it's 10. That is absolutely. There's no way anyone gets a critical hit and doesn't get something from it. That is not acceptable in my game. You do 10 solid points of damage. How do you hit him this hard?
Nice.
So he thought he had me lined up, right?
Yeah.
But it was the illusion.
Yeah.
And I just crack him in the solar plexus. Like it's just the setup, right?
Excellent.
And I think it probably staggers him a little.
Totally. Like you just not see it coming at all. Almost bends him over in half. He stumbles forward, looks at you in anger, and just lunges at you. I need you to fight off a grapple. Roll with strength or
born for
dexterity. And beat a 17.
Well, I have an 8.
Right, so no. Right, so you are now grappled. This next round, on your turn, you can choose to either try and break that grapple or punch him in the face or something. I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
So in the meantime, Aram,
Yes.
this is like a finely appointed large room, right?
Yes, beautiful.
Is there any like potentially identifiable heraldry or style, fashion, or anything that we could potentially use to determine where the hell we are or when the hell we are?
Yeah.
Or who these
Everything
people are?
has everything feels familiar and alien at the same time. So there's little things where you're like, oh, that wallpaper pattern is familiar. I've seen that before. And this use of silks seems familiar. But whenever you run up against the house symbol or the way even like stone is joined, like everything feels just a little bit weirdly off, and it doesn't allow you to place any of it. Anything else?
Yeah, Quaxmum is not really watching the fight because he can't affect it in any way.
Sure.
So he'll basically.
And everyone else is locked in. Like they like John Lewis is very focused. His guards are focused. So you can do pretty much whatever you want.
Good. He'll walk around and take a close look at basically everything that he can. The furnitures, the tapestries, the egresses, to see if there's anything out of the ordinary.
You eventually come across a table pushed far to the side, and on top of this table is a book, and it says in what would be the equivalent of French. It would say Castle Amber, family of a family of exception is what the title would be. And as you flip through it, it talks about the Amber family, how they ruled this land called Averny, which is not a land you've heard of. And every time it mentions a government or a place or whatever, and you're just flipping through it because there's a fight going on, but there's nothing familiar in this. Things feel familiar as far as like how they're set up, but none of these words, none of these names hold any familiarity to as at all. They're either in the farthest off lands that you've never heard of and never experienced, or they are from somewhere else.
Very interesting. Okay. I read as much of it as I can while the fight is going on.
All right, excellent. So you are now grappled. What do you wish to do, Dirk?
Light him on fire, Dirk.
Not really my deal. So we're grappling, which is like that kind of like wrestly, shovey
That standard
kind of thing, right?
one hand over the neck, one hand on the shoulder kind of thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like he's trying to kind of push me and pull me around.
He's trying to put
right?
you on your back. On
Right.
the
Hit him
ground.
with a chair.
I wish. I grapple a different way, and I will hold person.
Nice. All right.
Nice.
Are you at disadvantage because you're being grappled to cast a
Ah.
spell?
He doesn't roll.
I don't roll. It's just
right.
a save.
It's just a save. So what is the saving throw I've got to roll against it? It's wisdom, I imagine?
Wisdom save DC 13.
Damn, I'm rolling really well. I'm sorry. So I rolled a 17 plus whatever his wisdom is, and which is for like 1 more, like, or even -1. It's not going to matter. So you reach in, and there's a mind there, but it is like if you had to reach through quicksand to get to it, and you're surprised at the resistance. You just don't get there, and there's this smirk that comes across the creature's face, and he tries to flip you onto your back. So I need you to fight the grapple with either dex or strength and beat a 19.
Is this athletics?
Athletics? Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I rolled a 19, so that is a 25.
So easily. So goes to flip you and is surprised at how strong you are and is not able to whatsoever. Your turn.
It's those long arms, you know, like
That's right.
you underestimate them.
You just got like one hand on his forehead and he needs to
Right.
swing it.
Is there any way? Can I just ask, like, is there any way that I could be like studying this guy while this is happening and seeing if I can like discern any possible like weaknesses?
Roll me an investigation. I love it.
Okay. 9.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? 9 total.
9 total. Yeah.
Okay. I want you to roll with advantage
Don't mind if I do.
because reasons.
Okay. I love reasons. Now that is a non-natural 20.
There you go. He drops
20.
his front
Dirty
guard
20.
when he reaches in. So every time he reaches in to try and move him, he's dropping his guard and letting his hand go to Dirk's waist. You know he can clobber him right there.
All right. I'm gonna be like Dirk. Oh, maybe I'll say it in Goblin. That's what I'll do.
There you go.
I'll lower my voice and in Goblin I'll say, Dirky, this Palooka drops his guard every time he moves in. You can clobber him. Get him right in the
see it.
mug.
You see it right away. Roll to hit with advantage.
11 plus 6, 17.
That's going to hit. Roll damage.
I can't. It's 5.
Right, it's 5. You clock him. You clock him, and he staggers backwards. He did not expect to be hit and lets go of you and leans against the rope, takes in a breath, and kind of comes back towards you, but is a little off center and rolls a natural 1. So literally slips on some blood and like face first, like kicks himself in the face by falling face first into your boot. Right? It takes a little bit of damage there. Now he's prone in front of you, so you have advantage.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, this is back alley brawling. This is what bugbears are built for.
Yep.
I mean, I am just on top of him wailing at this point.
Nice. Roll with advantage.
13 is the high, so 19 versus AC.
So you just drop on top of him, and you're able to get like an arm underneath his neck, and you're squeezing, and you can feel him, even though he doesn't feel real, like it feels like you're still fighting a statue or something made out of wax, he's breathing. So you can try and cut off the oxygen to him if you want it to.
Oh, this is interesting. This is better for me. Yeah, I'll go for the rear naked choke if I learned anything from bad MMA broadcasts.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
I'm with you. Roll me, then initiate a grapple. And beat a 13.
10.
Oh, so you still have your arm around his neck. He hasn't broken free yet, but he's able to like get up onto his knees and push back, and he's going to try and stand up. Beat a 7.
Athletics still?
Yep.
That's a 17.
All right, you hold him dead in place. You block his arm, block his leg. You've got like your ankles kind of wrapped around his, and you're fully on top of him. All of your weight's pressing down. He's heaving hard. You're heaving hard. You're both exhausted. What are you doing?
Just elbows to the back of the head. Elbows to the back of the head.
Roll to hit.
Dirty street fight.
Yeah.
I have advantage because he's prone, right?
Oh yeah, you do.
Throw them bows, Dirky.
16 plus 6, 22.
Easy. So 5 more
5
points
more
of
damage.
You just come. So how do you knock him out? How is that final blow dealt?
So actually, I think what happens here is that he does, like, in this mess, right? Like, I start, like, trying to drop elbows on him, right?
Yeah.
And he kind of shifts, like, in like a panic movement that throws me off balance, and then I literally just drop on top of him like 8 feet of 350-pound bugbear in one elbow, and just like straight into his waxy skull.
Yep, and it just collapses like a chocolate Easter egg underneath you and just shatters. And then the whole body begins to crack and break apart until there's just dust left in the ring in front of you. Good show! Good
That's
show!
the Dry Gulch.
Waves a hand, the screen comes back up, and the numbers increase 5,000 gold per. Well done. Collect your winnings on the way out. Do enjoy your time here. And we're going to hold right there. Thank you so much for joining us for the first game of Castle Amber. We're going to go around the horn, starting with Shiv. And could you tell us, please, where you are, what your real name is, and where people can reach you?
Absolutely. My name is Sally Tamarkin, and you can find me on Twitter at Sally T. Where I am, I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I co-host a podcast called The Struggle Bus. It's about mental health and other fun stuff like that.
It's so good.
You can listen to it if you want.
On a personal note, I found it very helpful. I've been struggling with mental health issues recently in the last couple of years. New ones that I didn't know I was aware of, frankly. And I found your podcast really very helpful.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aram. I
Totally.
appreciate that.
Thank you. Dirk, hit me up.
I am Shane. I am located in the epicenter, New York City. 'Cause
Congratulations.
if we don't laugh, we cry.
True.
You can find me on Twitter at Mundangerous. You can find me on the Total Party Thrill podcast, and you can find me listening to the Struggle Bus as well.
And Quaxium. Not Quaxium. That's wrong, isn't it? Is it Quaxium?
Quaximum.
Quaximum, pardon
Although
me.
it is short for Quaximilian.
Right, so Quaximilian, hit me.
I am Easton Sherwood. I am also on Total Party Thrill. You can find me on Twitter at Easton Sherwood or at Evil Sans Carne. That's Malice Minus Meat. And find the show, TotalPartyThrill.com or at TPTcast.
It's a fun show. It's a really fun show. You guys have a great dynamic. Were you guys friends before you started the show?
We're not friends now.
Not friends now, man.
right, fair enough. Excellent. And Dylan, Lockjaw, pardon me. Tell me about yourself.
I'm Dylan. I'm in New Brunswick, Canada, and I don't do anything. So
That's a lie. Dylan's been working on a Spire game that I was able to play a little bit of that is really very solid, and I cannot wait to play it again. So Dylan is lying.
I have nothing to plug, so instead I'm going to plug Rowan Rook and Deckard just published the PDF for Heart, the City Beneath, which is fucking great. So search for Rowan Rook and Deckard by Heart if you like weird body horror dungeon crawls, and tell Grant and Chris that they are talented people.
Awesome. And that wraps it up for us tonight. We'll be back next week. I'll announce the time and date as soon as we have it locked in. And otherwise, thank you all for joining us, and we will see you soon.
Thanks for running.
Thanks, Aram.